The U.S. Milius gets new mission to Taiwan Strait via South China Sea days after China drills. A U.S. warship sailed through the waters separating Taiwan and mainland China, the U.S. Navy said, days after Beijing staged war games around the self-ruled island. Led by the United States, multiple Western navies regularly conduct freedom of navigation operations to assert the international status of regional waterways such as the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea. The U.S. Milius guided missile destroyer conducted a routine Taiwan Strait transit April 16, local time, through waters where high seas freedoms of navigation and overflight apply in accordance with international law, the U.S. Navy said in a statement. The ship transited through a corridor in the strait that is beyond the territorial sea of any coastal state. This was the first such U.S. operation through the waterway since January. The U.S. 7th Fleet shared images, Monday, on Twitter of crew looking out into the strait, one of the most crucial waterways in the world for international shipping. China said on Monday it had tracked a U.S. warship through the Taiwan Strait, adding that the United States had hiked up the transit. Colonel Xia Yi, a Chinese military spokesman, said troops in the area remain on a high level of alert at all times and will resolutely defend national sovereignty and security as well as regional peace and stability. China claims Taiwan as its territory and has vowed to bring the island under its control one day. It also claims the entire Taiwan Strait as its territorial waters. China launched 3 days of military exercises around Taiwan on April 8, simulating targeted strikes and a blockade of the island. The drills were in response to Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen's recent visit to the United States, where she met with Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy. Beijing bristles at any official contact between Taipei and foreign governments. On the final day of last week's drills, Taiwan's defense ministry said 54 Chinese planes crossed into Taiwan's southwestern and southeastern Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, the highest recorded in a single day since October 2021. That same day, the U.S. Milius sailed through waters claimed by Beijing in the South China Sea. That deployment triggered condemnation from China, which said the vessel had illegally intruded into its territorial waters. Since the war games ended, Chinese warships and aircraft have continued to circle Taiwan. On Monday, Taipei's defense ministry said it had detected 4 warships and 18 aircraft, 4 of which had crossed its southwestern ADIZ. The guided missile destroyer USS Milius sailed through the Taiwan Strait on January 5, months after McCarthy's predecessor Nancy Pelosi visited the island. Pelosi's trip sparked China's largest ever war games around Taiwan. The ship's transit demonstrates the United States' commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific, it added. Chinese military's Eastern Theater Command said in a social media post on Monday it organized troops to follow and monitor the U.S. destroyer throughout its operation. China has continued its military activities around Taiwan since the drills ended, though on a reduced scale. China has never renounced the use of force to bring democratically governed Taiwan under its control. Taiwan's government rejects China's territorial claims and says only the island's people can decide their future. China claims Taiwan as its territory and has vowed to bring the island under its control one day. It also claims the entire Taiwan Strait as its territorial waters. Taiwan's defense ministry said on Monday that during the vessel's transit, its military had closely monitored the dynamics in our surrounding sea and airspace, and the situation was normal. This marks the first passage of a U.S. warship through the Taiwan Strait since January 5, when the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Milius, DDG-93, passed through. The MND said that 18 People's Liberation Army Air Force (PLAAF) military aircraft and 4 People's Liberation Army Navy (PLAN) vessels had been tracked around Taiwan. Of the aircraft, 4 had entered the southwest and southeast sectors of Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ. Aircraft tracked in the ADIZ included 1 TB-001 reconnaissance and strike unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, dubbed the Twin-Tailed Scorpion, 2 Harbin Z-9 anti-submarine warfare helicopters, and 1 Shenyang J-11 fighter jet. The Z-9 helicopters were detected in the southwest corner of the ADIZ, while the UAV and J-11 fighter were tracked just off the southwest edge of the median line and inside the ADIZ. Also on Sunday, debris from China's Long March 4B rocket was detected falling into a no-fly zone imposed by Beijing north of Taiwan in the ADIZ, according to the MND. The debris was generated by the launch of a Fengjin 3G weather satellite from Jiuquan, Gansu Province.